He that knows nothing doubts nothing. Boris turns away Christmas lockdown, profs bite their nails. A fresh lockdown over Christmas cannot be ruled out due to the wave of COVID sweeping across Europe, Boris Johnson said. The Prime Minister insisted he could see nothing in the data that suggested the government would have to impose Plan B extra measures or even a new lockdown. But he warned that those eligible, who now include the over 40s, need to come forward for their booster shots to prevent the storm clouds of COVID over the continent washing up on our shores. COVID cases are rising in France, Germany, and Austria, with a number of European countries imposing fresh lockdown measures to curb transmission. Asked whether he could rule out a Christmas lockdown, Mr. Johnson said, "I don't see anything in the data at the moment that makes me think we need to go to further measures. I cannot rule anything out, and the most important thing people can do to prevent NPIs, non-pharmaceutical interventions, from being needed is to get the booster." He warned of storm clouds that are gathering over parts of the continent, adding, "A new wave of coronavirus is steadily sweeping through Central Europe and is now affecting our nearest neighbours in Western Europe." Speaking at a Downing Street press conference, he urged those eligible for a booster shot, which now include the over 40s, to come forward if we want to avoid new restrictions on our daily lives. He added, "It would be an utter tragedy after everything we have been through if people who had done the right thing by getting double vaccinated ended up becoming seriously ill or even losing their lives because they allowed their immunity to wane by not getting their booster." England's Deputy Chief Medical Officer Professor Jonathan Van Tam said everyone had a role to play in helping the UK have as safe and disruption-free a winter as possible. Professor Van Tam said, "I think for Christmas and the winter period, we can expect respiratory viruses to be around, and we are particularly concerned that flu will come back and add to our problems, and it could be quite a bumpy few months ahead. But everyone has a key role to play in achieving as safe and disruption-free a winter as possible. Wear face coverings in crowded places if it is practical to do so, increase indoor ventilation whenever you can, make sure you are vaccinated and, like any medicine, make sure you finish the course. And when you are called for your booster, please come forward at pace so that we as a whole UK can get on and finish this job." Professor Van Tam said experts had seen a signal of waning immunity among those aged 40 to 49. While the vaccines have fundamentally changed the course of the pandemic in the UK, and the high uptake of the initial program has saved countless lives and helped restore our freedoms in an unprecedented way, it is also clear that protection will wane over time after the first 2 doses of a primary course, that is especially so in older adults and those with risk conditions, he said. The waning signal, while smaller, is also beginning to show in the 40-49s, and without boosting I would not expect it to be static, I would expect it to increase. Professor Chris Whitty, the Chief Medical Officer for England, told the Downing Street conference the NHS was facing a difficult winter as COVID-19 cases continued to rise, with parts of the service were already facing significant pressures. "I think we have got a difficult winter ahead of us. I think that is a widely accepted situation," he said. "The NHS is a remarkably resilient organisation. But nevertheless everybody would accept that large parts of it, particularly the ambulance system, but there are others, A&E and others, are under significant pressure, and I'm afraid are likely to remain so over the winter period, which is why all health staff would reiterate the point the PM has made about encouraging people to get vaccinated."